I've got a new 40-acre property in Laketown, Utah. This is a really cool property located in Rich County. It's just south of Bear Lake that straddles the border in Idaho and Utah. My name's McLaughlin here with Wilco Land. What I do is I specialize in selling property like this. So in the video, I'm going to unpack a lot. I'm going to talk about the photography. I'm going to show you what the property looks like on satellite imagery. I'm going to teach you how you can go view the property on your own and all that good stuff. So there's a lot you can learn from the comfort of your home looking at a land deal like this. I'm really excited to roll this one out. This is really prime habitat for hunting, and this property is adjacent to Forest Service and BLM land. So I'll unpack all that in the video, show you where the property sits, talk about how you can go access it, and share a little bit more about what I know about the property through my own due diligence and my experience in the industry. So kicking this video off, this is a really good photo to stop on. This is the property, what we're looking at right here. So it's all this side of the road, like right there, and it's all this side of the road. So to help, and then you can even see Bear Lake from the property. It's really a cool piece of land. The top of the property has a little flat bench up there too, and that's adjacent to BLM land. So again, I'm gonna try to explain this property best I can, so you guys can learn a lot about this piece of land from the comfort of your home. Again, this is the property. This is on the property. To help orientate yourself with what we're looking at, this is some satellite imagery showing what the property looks like. So those camera angles are probably taken from the back of the property right here, looking this way towards Bear Lake. So if I zoom out, you do have views of Bear Lake from the property. Let's take a peek at this. This is a really cool part of the country if you're not familiar with it. This is Bear Lake, Idaho, and Utah right here. This is Salt Lake City over here to the west, and this is a really cool mountain range running basically, to the east of Salt Lake City. Let me show it to you here on a map to show you where we're looking at here too. So again, Salt Lake City, Utah. This is Bear Lake, Garden, Laketown, Logan, Utah, Brigham City, things like that. Just to the south here in Morgan and Emory. But so the property is located right here on the edge of the National Forest. It is adjacent to BLM land, and you're really close to Bear Lake too. So what we're selling here is a really amazing location out here in Utah. So again, this is the property. Back to let's orientate ourselves with what we're looking at. This is the property. This is that top bench I'm talking about up here. That's a really nice section. And a BLM road actually brings you up here. So while I'm here, I'm going to kind of draw this out for you. The flat space up at the top of the property probably totals about an acre, which is a lot of space. And there's a little BLM road that can get you to that spot. And then down here, you've got a nice section of the property. So I look at this section of the property as a really nice place to maybe build a cabin or something of that nature. This is going to run 3.5 acres about this section. And then if you did another polygon here, this other section of the property is going to be somewhere around 2 acres. So you've got a total of about 5 acres on the west side of the road. Then you've got another 30 something acres over here, right? So this is all your property too. Getting back to the listing, that's that little bunch of trees. We can learn so much, right? That's that little bunch of trees right there. There might be some new trees out there too. Those could be further on, but that might be that bundle of trees, or even this bundle of trees on the edge of the property. But we won't spend too much time looking into that. I think these photos do a really good job of helping you understand what you're buying here. This is the access road, right? The property does have access via Laketown Canyon Road. And then, here's some more imagery looking at access. You're going to go through some really nice aspen groves to get to the property. And I'll talk a little bit more about access too. This is the top of the property that we measured out. So, getting back to the property here, we can see, right here is what we're looking at from this photo, this whole section right here. So yeah, it's really cool. Like I said, you can really learn a lot about the property from satellite imagery, can't you? This is a good look at the property too. Goes up here. You've got a ton of space on this side. You've got a nice grove of aspens down on the property. And again, from my understanding, this is a really, really great elk habitat and great for hunting out here. So this is national forest, right? You're within a national forest. You're next to BLM land. These are signs you can't get off the road is what this is saying. So either side of the road. So there is a ranch out here. You got to respect your neighbor. So if you guys are going to view the property, which I'll talk about here in a minute, I'll stop on these. So there is access to the property. However, you can't get off the road and go onto to the Johnson Ranch's property, right? That's what this sign is saying. So respect your neighbors, stay on this Forest Service road, Laketown Canyon, until you get to our property, the subject listing that we're advertising. This is a good photo from the top of the property. Again, our photographer took a photo up there. You do have Bear Lake views. I can't emphasize the views from this property enough. Like, these are all aspen groves down here too. So during the fall, during the spring, summer, it is going to be absolutely beautiful out here, right? These photos were taken really recently, close to winter. So we just hit the tail end of the season. But yeah, you've got aspens out here. You got birch trees probably, conifers, things like that. This is another look at the property from a different angle. So if we zoom up, we can see that we're looking at the property from this angle right here. When you move this stuff around, it gives you a different look, doesn't it? So you're looking at the property from this angle right here. You can see the photographer's park down here on this section of property. So there's a lot of flat land. If you look right here, looks like there's a lot of flat land down here where he parked, right? This could be a place you're just pulling a camper up to. So when I think about target audience here, somebody's looking for a land investment in this location. This is a really sought after location. For somebody looking to build an off-grid cabin back here, or even a place to park some campers, there's a lot of flat space off to the side of the road that's ready for almost immediate use right now. So there's a lot of tangible value to this land investment. You can also access the top of the property too, like I talked about up here, and you could pitch a camper up there, pitch like a campsite up there and things like that. You could do some dirt work, build into the side of the hill, maybe build on stilts, something like that. People are getting really creative using these properties these days. I'm seeing people use yurts, tiny homes, and even just really cool, weekend campsite type of properties. So there's a lot you can do with the property. It doesn't have to be that traditional building anymore. Let's take a peek at the property. We've looked at it on Google Earth here, satellite imagery. We'll kind of reorientate ourselves. Again, you've got the National Forest all around you. Let's talk about that a little bit more in this listing. So this is where we're located, again, south of Bear Lake. It's on Laketown Canyon Road, and this is that road right here that goes through the property. I think the best access is probably coming in from the south. So if you can find yourself at Bug Lake right here, basically this is a Forest Service road right here, comes in through the National Forest. You can see it all labeled on Onyx Maps. This is my favorite app to use for land viewing. So for anybody looking to go visit the property, I really like using, Onyx Maps. You can come in, there's some main roads that bring you basically to Bug Lake. So you're trying to get to Bug Lake, and then you're heading up this road right here. And then you're going to cross over onto some Forest Service, some Forest Service land right there. And that's going to be, 1,000 acres of Forest Service. And then you're going to keep going on this Forest Service land. It's going to come loop around right here. Again, passing over some private land ownership. And then you're going to pass over BLM land. So you've got over 100,000 acres of BLM land next door to this property. Then you're going to keep heading on this road, right? And you are going to arrive at the property right here. This is the subject property that we have been talking about, right, in this canyon. So again, this is the property. To the east of it is 100,000 acres of BLM land. I talked about that a little bit more. You can get up on this BLM road up here and access the property basically from BLM land, essentially. So that's another cool feature too. There is some access to the top of the property up here like this. And we kind of measured out, this area up top. These parcel lines aren't going to be 100% accurate that we're seeing 1.5 acres up here. These lines aren't 100% accurate. If you really want 100% accurate property boundaries, get it surveyed, but BLM should have their corners surveyed. So like BLM should have a survey marker right here and probably right here. Typically they do that when we're talking about, being adjacent to private land ownership. But again, in reality, you might not be able to find them and they might not be there. So again, one of the big selling points is we are next to BLM land. Talking about access, this is Laketown Canyon Road that comes down here through the property. Just like that, it's rarely ever used, right? You don't see a lot of development back here. That's one of the draws to the property. You can theoretically access the property from the north if you keep following Laketown Canyon Road. It keeps bringing you up north, and it's going to essentially drop you out in Laketown. So this is another good way to access the property too, is from Laketown. Basically, you're just taking Laketown Canyon Road. You're coming into the south here. This should all be accessed unless the road's closed, but this should all be accessible from the north. At the very least, here's Laketown Canyon. You can come through here, and then this should connect back over Mill Canyon Road, should connect onto Laketown Canyon. But essentially, you're coming down here, and you're coming down to the property. It comes out about right. If I can orientate myself right about, let's pull up the property here one more time, all the way down here. So again, coming in from the north, you're basically going to access Laketown Canyon Road from Laketown up here, and that's going to shoot you through all this BLM land, through some private ownership like these ranches, and down into the property. So, all I'm using to locate the property are these GPS coordinates. I'm guessing if you're looking at the property, you have some skill level with Onyx Maps. If not, I really recommend using this app for land viewings. I've got the elite version. Talking about zoning, if you want to learn more about the property, I've got a lot of the details here. You can click on some of these links. It'll bring you to the county website, things like that. You can read a little bit more about the property here. You can check out our photographer's videos right here. I won't take all day doing it, but our photographer does have a great video showing the property too, right? You can see him parked down here at the bottom of the property. A lot of usable space on that west side of the road. Like I said, there are some comparable sales in the area that have sold for north of $200,000. We're in the business of moving land fast. If you're interested in something like this, just get with me. Let's have a conversation. You can reach me here at 605-250-1256. You can also hop on our website. We've got land all over the country. So this is our niche. This is our specialty. This is what we love to do, is work with vacant land. So if you have questions for us, if you're looking to sell something, looking to buy something, get with me or somebody on our team. I've got other property down in San Pete, Utah, a $99,000 listing down there. Got stuff in Montana, Wyoming, Idaho, South Dakota, Colorado, kind of all over the western United States, including Alaska. So just get with us if you have any questions. Like I said, you can reach me here at 605-299-5553. Thanks for tuning in.